doing?
Great to be here. I'm looking forward to reading more.
Yeah, really good. Well, licensing trusts have been around for over 70 years now, and they were a remarkable concept back in the 1940s. And in looking at what they had achieved, I always was of the opinion that it was poorly recorded and was crying out to be better presented. So that was one of the justifications. Other justifications were it was just simply a good story.
For people that don't know about licensing trusts, how would you explain them?
They were originally there to sell alcohol and provide accommodation in restaurants. After in the 1940s, there were a number of areas where were dry, like Masterton, and the people said, and particularly the soldiers coming back from the war, said we wanted to be able to socialise better, but there was concern still about the excesses of the Prohibition area. So a remarkable guy, Mason, who was Minister of Justice, and he is a remarkable man, he conceived the concept based on the Carlisle scheme in the United Kingdom, that the community would take responsibility for providing these services, but to do so always in the interests of the public well-being, and the surplus profits would go back to the community.
How often do we as individuals get ourselves into a group situation, be it a family wedding or be it a family funeral or be it any sort of family gathering, and somebody or more than one person says, God, I wish somebody would write the family history. And how lucky are we as a licensing trust that Bernard stuck his hand up and said, look, I'll do this. And so look, big hand to Bernard.
It was really quite special when Bernard got in touch with us to do his book. As someone and Ian too have been involved in quite a few community organisations and have been the recipients of funds from the trusts, I really didn't know a great deal about the trust, and I found it most interesting. And I hope this book goes very widely, because I think there is a lot of misunderstanding out there about how valuable the trusts are all over the country and have been for many years to the development of communities. And I know we've been the beneficiaries of a lot here in the Wairarapa.
I thought it was time, over 70 years on since their birth, to provide a record of licensing trusts. There have been a few, very few, local publications, and there should be many more. I also wanted to pursue were the original ideals still relevant. Surely, I question, after 7 decades' time had moved on, and was not private enterprise proven to be a much better vehicle today? I came through an era where private enterprise and the market philosophy and globalisation were the buzzwords. But I always believed that there was a place for community enterprises too. And when I rigorously researched that and compared the performance of the licensing trust against their private enterprise alternatives, it was very clear that licensing trusts were performing at least as well, in most cases considerably better.
This unique system of trusts throughout the country has been an incredible social and community success, and this has been demonstrated very well in the Wairarapa. I can speak only for what has been done to our community here, and the trust has done amazing things. The Henley Trust, or the Henley Lake Complex, is, I believe, one of the best patronised amenities in the southern half of New Zealand. Now, yet without the generosity of the licensing trust, it would never have happened.
What do you think people will get out of the book?
It's a great concept. It's driven by community well-being. It's driven by a care for the community. It's unique in that not only does it requires trust to sell or provide sensitive services with alcohol and gaming, it requires them to do it in the with the interests of the community in mind. So it doesn't need to be, and you'll find most trusts are this, they don't need to be so profit driven. And they can donate all their money back to the community. And there's a huge amount of money each year goes back to the communities in support of a wide range of community facilities.